Cameron Kickletter here with HGTV show coverage. Now, if you haven't seen already, our main show coverage sponsor is Experience Arabian Horses, and they are all about promoting the Arabian breed to people outside of the industry. So yesterday we talked to horse show moms, but today I want to talk to people who run lesson programs because they are typically that first experience that somebody has. So we're going to talk to them, hear a little bit about some of the common concerns and misconceptions that parents may have, and see how local communities can support lesson programs. Let's do it. What are some of the misconceptions that parents might have around getting their child involved with horses?
So the biggest thing is they think they need to own a horse to become involved. So that's the first thing we say. We would love you to ultimately own a horse, but to dip your toe in, the safest way to start is just buy a couple riding lessons and give it. I always say to a parent, let's give this 6 or 7 lessons before you purchase anything other than boots. We have helmets we put on them. So the easiest way to me and the wisest way to start is a good lesson program for sure.
You can start at any age. You can start at 4 or you can start at 60. We have tons of adults who start their lessons with us. We have tons of kids who start their lessons with us. There's no age that's the wrong age.
A lot of times they think that if they get into this, they have to go compete right at the beginning. We don't want to push that. We want them to get to love the horse. They decide along the way whether they want to do that or not.
The biggest misconception that we get coming through our door is that, oh, it's so expensive. The cost of it. Oh, I've got to own a horse. And in our program, we really strive to encourage people to know that they don't have to own a horse, especially initially. You know, we want them to be able to go out and experience the horse, have riding lessons, make sure it's something that they really want to do, that if it's a child or an adult, that it's something that they want to do and they aspire to come to the barn and work hard. And just like soccer or basketball, any of those things, they've got to get started doing it first to figure out if it's really their true passion.
How would you recommend somebody getting involved if they just want to start kind of at the very base level? What does that look like?
The best way is to find a reputable program, not a backyard type of situation. Go to a large farm, ask around some people that might know other people that know horses, and get some references to go to a big farm like that. And then just make sure that you feel like you fit and your kid is getting along with the instructor, and then they'll go a long way from there.
The best part for us to do is we ask parents to look in the area, go to the farm, see the facility, see if it's something that the children feel comfortable at. Do the parents feel comfortable being around there at the barn? So we always try to make sure that they do their homework. That be from a parent's standpoint. So not just, oh, I don't know anything about horses, so I'm just going to throw my kid to this barn. Go to the facility. Does it have the safety measurements? Are there tractor tools in the middle of the arena? Are there things that shouldn't be, that don't look right? And that's a good place to start. And sometimes you start at one place and maybe the kid doesn't get along with the instructor or the rider, and you switch. And that's completely okay, because that's part of life and part of figuring out who is an instructor that works well with your child. Do they have complaints when they come home? Are they super happy? Maybe they're not doing on a super competitive level, but they're having a great time, and that's really important for us.
Come spend the day. When someone new calls me, the first thing I do is, if they're not sure about scheduling, I just invite them to come and listen so that they can kind of know what to expect, because that's the biggest thing. They see people riding and they can't imagine them being able to do that. So really, just like anything else that you would be new at, whether it's swimming lessons or learning an instrument, if you go and see someone very experienced, it can be very intimidating. So I would say the best way to determine which program is best for you is go listen to some lessons, or if you're at a show, stand at the warm-up pen. You learn a lot about people in those moments as well.
What can a parent expect their kid to learn when being a part of all of this?
Well, we learn about horse care. Obviously, that's a big one. But then outside of the horses, there's the teamwork. You have to learn to work with your horse. You have to learn to work with your trainers. You have to learn to work with your barn mates. There's responsibility. These are expensive animals. They take a lot of work, both from us and from their rider. And then there's the confidence that comes from it as well.
Yeah, I think the confidence thing is huge.
I always compare it to the parents. I said it's not a soccer ball. So you don't get to just play with it and then put it in a closet until the next time. So I really try to teach the kids that it's important that you take care of it. It's a living, breathing animal that needs you to care for it. You asked it for 30 minutes, 45 minutes of work, an hour. You want to make sure that you get it put away correctly and properly.
Why are lesson programs important for the industry, for kids? Like, however you want to answer this question, why are lesson programs important, specifically right now?
We need to build the base. We need the walk trotters. We need the 1300 riders. We need new people. That doesn't necessarily have to be kids, but we need new people to come into this sport in order for us to thrive. And without a lesson program, there's really no way for anybody to enter. So whether it's, they buy their first Arabian and they show at the local horse shows for a year and then they keep moving up, or they just stay at the local horse shows. We need to develop every aspect of our industry a little bit more, and that has to come from the bottom. It doesn't start at the top.
This breed has to grow. It has to grow. We've all been talking about it for a long time. I've done riding lessons my whole riding career, but it's just been in the last 10 years that horse trainers really cared about it. I feel like, I felt like 20 years ago I had to justify why what we were doing is important. You don't have to do that now. A lot of this is shrouded in mystery, and it seems unattainable. So when you take that away and just make it about a kid or an adult learning to ride a horse, everything that comes out of it afterward is kind of gravy to me anyway.
How can our community support lesson programs?
We need beginner, dead broke show horses who have been there and done that, who their show career is over, and they are ready to be schoolmasters. And I think if you talk to 10 riding instructors, they would all say the same thing. We need lesson horses. So pull them out of your fields. The one that are unhappy sitting in the field, call us. We need them.
So I think the biggest thing would be putting more introductory classes, academy classes, or as we call them here, experience classes, opportunity classes at the local shows, so that we don't have to ask our kids to go in and compete with the kids who have been showing for 10 years at their first horse show.
It's really important to spread the word. Doctor's Office, we spread the word on the Experience magazine is a great thing that we have. A great issue just came out during Region 12 show. We really pass that out. We make sure we do the farmers markets, just spreading the word.
So like many of the people said today, getting your child involved in a lesson program is much more accessible than you might think it is. Now, to find out more, visit experiencearabianhorses.com, click the Farm Finder, and you can find a lesson program near you. See you later.